Hello and welcome to another cast. Today I bring you Oberstei with this Tordenskjold on Crossroads Winter. Yes, indeed it is. So we do have OKW versus the Soviet Union. Aww, and we have a cute little rascal that might wake up and disrupt our plans for a good game. Let's see how that works out. So Tordenskjold going straight in with the armored assault tactics, which gives him access to the radio intercept, so he's immediately telling him that the Volkskunde has been built, so no Kubel shenanigans. We're gonna jump over to his perspective, so we can hear the radio intercept as it comes along. And we have ground offensive for Oberstei. Aww. Little blighters. How cute. Anyway, now they've been distracted with cute little babies. Let's get back into the game. So double conscript start with this double Volkskunde, nothing too fancy on either side. And as you can see here, this is the way radio intercept works. It gives you a message just like you would capture a point about what your enemies built. Very often it's also accompanied by voice lines. But I think if it's still the case that playing against OKW still struggles against it in terms of voice lines, because the radio intercept has been recorded for the original faction of Oberstei versus Soviets. So there are some voice lines lacking, but they are there when appropriate. We've got some Panzer Fusiliers maybe coming soon. No, I'm just going into Volksgrenadiers. Maybe we'll see someone later to go for a double Shrek. It's pretty powerful, especially on a 5-man unit. Some good sandbagging going up on the north. Hopefully we'll see that wired off. Okay, he wants that engagement decided quickly before any reinforcements arrive. So decides not to go for the full cap here, rather than flanking these Volksgrenadiers. Nice job there. Most of these models will not be in cover, it's just better to just go straight behind the wall. And if you get flanked, then just jump over it. We haven't seen a retarget. You can notice that by some models are shooting at different squads. That jumps in with both squads, which is probably not the best idea. There's only one window on this side. But good moves here. Keeps these guys in place, flanks with yet another squad, even though there's only one window. Might have been worth it to just Ura into this green cover.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
But we'll see how it goes out. Okay, 4th squad will be a Panzer Fusilier. Interestingly enough, we're not grabbing a 4th conscripts. Instead we're floating a little bit. Looks like we're just tacking up, so keep an eye on that. Yep, tier 2 coming up in the base. And as long as the targeting is correct... Oh, these guys are getting low. Lucky that they didn't drop any more models on the negative cover retreat here.
Engineers ready for assignment.
2nd squad of engineers built now. And I imagine that excess manpower is going towards an MG. Yeah, this is not the best house for a conscript unit. It's decent for MGs or like LMG Grenadiers, for example. Units that basically just have one model doing most of the work. But that is not the case for these guys, so Fusiliers are going to the right. Pretty even split, nice move here, goes forward, tries to go for the cutoff. Looks like he gets it and even might be able to finish those sandbags. A little bit too far forward here with the poor Ober-Engineers. Sturm Pioneers. And now I want a unit called Ober-Engineers in the game.
We have now installed a field hospital at headquarters.
Runs too far up, gets triggered by the machine gun emplacement, but gets into cover quick enough to be unsuppressed, but then makes the same mistake just straight up again. So I'm not entirely sure what the game plan was there. Maybe he didn't notice the first time around and already had a move order going. Okay, conscript has been forced off of the cutoff, nice job. You always want to get rid of that quickly, especially if you actually have something to be cut off, which is basically more than 50% of his territory here. So nice job there. A little bit of a double fuel situation going on. Tordenskjold is working to rectify this, but it's still gonna be a couple of seconds of double fuel income for our OKW player, which is not something you want to see as an allied player. And the Minesweeper boy is just sitting by, can't swing it like he means it. If you know where that co-reference got from, you're an old man. Oh, he's trying to swap out. It's not a bad shout, but it's gonna delay the cap a bit. Nice job, getting some sandbags off. Interesting position. I'd probably... Oh, never mind. It's the right position. I was thinking that the start positions were switched when they were not. Oberstei with a battle group headquarters and immediate field medics. Not a bad choice. Saves him a lot of munitions because while powerful, these medical supplies do cost 45 munitions. And I found myself very often in a situation where I'd really rather have a battle group headquarters than a mechanized one. It just gets you out the STGs, G43s, mines. Just so many things you'd rather spend your munitions on than healing, when there is this easy way of providing it. Nice job. Notices that he forced off most of the enemy squads, keeps the low squad in play. It's a bit dangerous proposition because there is a squad on his backline. But if he pays attention, he should be fine. Just about didn't get the full cap here. So the Sturm Pioneers, even though while dropping a model, they should win this rather decisively. Nice mine in the middle. Gets a nice little incendiary grenade off here. Decides that engagement rather quickly. Keeps these boys healthy. We still have munitions for an SDG. Pretty late MG actually. Looks like he spent most of his manpower reinforcing rather than getting that out a bit quicker. Attempts to wire off the sandbags here, which is foiled by these Bernie boys. And they actually decides to Scarper. Nice job by the burners. Recaptures his cutoff on the fuel. So nice back and forth so far. First SDG is hitting the field. And his MG is also being pushed. Okay, decides to run away. Pocket G43 is coming up any second now. And will they get a model on the negative road? Indeed they do. Just straight up bullet to the back of the skull. Ooh, that's an A-moved Maxim. That's a bit of out of position, just like my camera was there. But looks like he accidentally moved him in front of the cover instead of behind it, which enabled the Maxim to get the suppression and force the retreat. It's always annoying when you mess up your cover orders and you end up on the very opposite side of where you want it to be. Okay, I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. It seems awfully loud here. So apologies for that. Let's just do the master volume. There we go. That should be better. So you can actually hear what I'm saying. Mine decides to end the life of two Volksgrenadiers. The Minesweeper is checking out on the left side to flush out any possible OKW mines. Oh, Maxim out of position yet again. Has to retreat, but does get the full cap on the cutoff, at least for the moment. Will give him at least a little bit of fuel. And the T-70 hits the field with no hard AT on the field for Oberstei. You see how that works? That's a beautiful position for an unvetted Fusilier to just rank up. Oh wait, never mind. I wanted to... Veterancy rank 1, please? Oh, never mind. Yeah. It's just a flare on Vet 1, so I think it's Vet 2. Yeah, where they do get weapon accuracy and the flare range. It's an underutilized ability, but goddamn is it powerful. Especially if you would go for Jagdtiger or something similar. Also works quite well with ISGs. And just general recon. It's quite massive. Oh, actually triggers the mine on the retreat. Very low squad here. Will the T-70 decide to go for the MG? Okay. ISG is gonna do its best. But sadly for it, the anti-tank rounds, which it used to have been patched out. Because it was a terribly awkward ability. Basically it was like a just a standard barrage, but with armor-piercing capabilities. So it was very limited in its effectiveness. It's basically just punished AFK players, which is not something you really want to rely on in a video game. Especially once you get past the 1000 rank. So Raketen has been built, is on its way to force that boy off. Engineer's pretty low, planted a new mine. Huh. That mine actually seems to have been shot at some point. Very low health there, which is interesting. See, Soviet army looks a bit small to my taste. I usually see a 4th conscript, but it does save you some manpower, and he's making it work. So I can't fault him for that. If it works, if it looks stupid but it works, it's not stupid. And I guess the effective rate would be kind of the same. Staying on the field, needs to pay attention on these engineers there. And does so. Nice job.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
Poor Maxim trying to his best to suppress here. No retarget on the Fusiliers yet, but does get the AoE suppression in eventually.
Isolated sector.
Ketten's not quite on the move to help out. ISG working on that building. It's gonna take it a while. And constant arrest. Nicely done. Now this glorious Soviet choir is chanting. Ooh, Raketen does not get a second shot off. Conscripts are oorahing in from the side. It's gonna work on that Raketen. T-70 did a nice job getting that low. Parks it behind the shot blocker. Nice job. And it's looking a bit grim for Oberstei, despite having the bigger army for the moment. It's just a little bit too spread out, which is one of my common mistakes. Being way too spread out with the units I have to make them work. Even though I technically have the superior army. Oh, will the MG go down? Oh. No, it does not. So here comes the reliable counterblow, which is a legitimate strategy in these situations. You just need to get on the field, push everything away and consolidate yourself. Get back some territory, maybe get a cheeky wipe just by force of numbers. Oh, ISG actually survived, even though on very low health. Ooh, and he's going for an aggressive Schwere headquarter. It's a bit risky in the current situation, so I imagine he's gonna wait until he's got a little bit more control of this game. Nice retarget by the MG. Just gonna pummel those Fusiliers. T-70 still in there, blasting away. Ooh, brutal damage. Should survive. Just about. Okay, there we go. Decides to go for the aggressive Schwere while being under pretty heavy pressure. There's not much coming back on the field just now. But these Storm Pioneers have been true heroes. Just sitting in that green cover for ages, blasting away conscripts, and finally pays off. He tries to... looks like he's trying to go for the wipe. Does not have the range for the Panzerfaust. These guys have been just stalling this advance for ages, which is actually gonna get the Schwere up. Headquarters up just in time. And but enough time for the MG to get in position. Good, nice and quick retarget. Good job there. Needs to retarget the other conscripts. He should be able to see them. They were firing. So not quite quick enough on the micro there. These engineers are getting forced off. We did not take a second shot with the T-70, which is now to red 2. Okay, good thing. Spotted that he was going to run to the MG. Decides to get away from there, and there we go. The upgrade is going to punish those conscripts severely. Actually, kind of lucky that it only dropped 2 models. I've had like entire squads 2-shotted by this thing in recent memory. T-70 on Veteran C2. Just gonna start being an even harder menace to society as it is already. Up to 12 kills and counting. Got the flare available now for these boys. What actually, I think that's improved suppression, yeah. So a Vet 2 Maxim actually can do something, which is sometimes without the Veterancy, it's very lackluster in the suppression department. Nice cheeky mine, might get spotted here. Yes, indeed it does, but gets the cutoff nonetheless. So I'm imagining a tiger stall here. See where this goes. MG's getting back on the field. Should have a nice concave here. Schwere will take care of the rest down there. Nice job. He does... Oh no, don't go get too close to the flag. Okay, good. He does not. Stays on the outside of the circle so the Schwere can't spot it. Nice job there. While still maybe getting the decap unless spotted by a secondary unit. I actually need to check out the Sturm Pioneer veterancy. I haven't quite memorized that one yet. This gun added to the mix as well as a mortar. And there we go, now spotted, and you have to get out of there. Just look at that. It's such a dangerous proposition to do that under the gaze of this beastly cannon here. Especially on low health. But now actually finally might be able to get the reverse cutoff. Ketten a bit out of position. Probably was trying to catch out T-70 probing the cutoff. Doesn't get more models on here. Will we see a grenade? Oh, this barrage actually whiffs for once. And hits the same spot twice. 3 times. More reliable than thunder. Usually you just see this gun annihilating on the first shot. Oh, flare mines going up. Decrewing a little bit of that MG. So weapon control under fire. If somebody knows what that actually means, I'm not entirely sure how that works. If it's like longer bursts or something of that in that regard. Or if the models just don't twitch as much. I don't know. Ooh. Okay, no, that's not a mine, that's just a destroyed sandbag. Oh, very low. He's trying to bait here. Oh, actually survives the first shot, but there we go. Oh, that was dangerous. Raketten does not get the shot off. Looks like it just about edged skirted the pixel there of the hedge to stay out of line of sight. Oh no, but gets wiped on the retreat by the mine. So Tordenskjold with a really nice mine play today. Looks like he spotted that. Should be in. Yep, there we go. Finally opening up. And gets a nice flank with the second conscript. While these engineers are minesweeping and just probing, attacking in the middle. Uh-oh. Kettenwerfer out of position yet again. He's trying to stay because he hasn't seen the T-34 yet. But needs to get out of there now. And yeah, the anti-tank rifle grenade range on Veterancy 2, which you just saw coming into effect here, it's quite substantial. That's a very long-range snare that will get addressed in the next patch. But I think I don't know if it homogenizes them with the other AT options or snares, but it definitely reduces the range. Actually, did decrew the MG34 here. Looks like he will get out thanks to the suppression of the Maxim. ISG can't prevent that. So Tordenskjold with some nice pickups here. The Raketten did manage to scalp her. We're getting pretty close to the Tiger stall. It's about 2 minutes left to get that boy. Well, actually no, it's 2:30. So half a minute on that account. But the army roster quite diminished by now. Lost the MG, lost another Volksgrenadier. Looking a little bit grim bones here. But if there's ever been a comeback unit, it's the current iteration of the Tiger. Especially the OKW boy, the Panzer Commander. Now we could see a second T-34 added to the mix to put some pressure on that. The AT gun hasn't had much to do yet. Except fire some glorified barrages off. Oh, nice. Actually gets the minesweep off there. So good job. Right side's just hanging about, controlling the fuel. And he's just been notified about the Tiger hitting the field right now. There comes another this barrage. 35 munitions well spent. That is unironical, by the way. It is just brutal. You can just throw that out. Oh, nice, actually. The grenade triggers its own flare mine. Oh, but a T-70 with just so much damage, but they do only lose 2 models. So good tidings there. I have to check the Sturmpioneer's veterancy yet again. So the Tiger's gonna have no issues whatsoever over here. Surprised we haven't seen... Oh, we're actually seeing the MG gun for once upgraded. Does give it nice anti-infantry capabilities, which I appreciate. Well, I shouldn't prefer it, but I just prefer it because the other option at the moment is very, very kind of overpowered, because it gives you increased line of sight, which I was actually not aware of until recently, and just a very quick barrage to get rid of any Zis guns if you're ever in a pickle. Which I believe is not even that expensive. I think it's 100 or 120 munitions for that barrage. So, Sturmpioneer veterancy. It's gonna be our veterancy of the day. So we have concussive grenade ability. Basically, it just stuns a couple boys in place, enables the Sturmpioneers to get some more damage in. Maybe flank an MG, preventing it from turning. Veterancy 2. Survivability, which is generally just considered reduced received accuracy. So they're harder to hit. And some weapon control under fire, which I still need explained to me. It's got to repair objects faster and improve weapon accuracy even further. Oh no, not even further, but increase weapon accuracy on that 3. So they actually start dishing out the damage on the mid-range. Construct objects faster on veterancy 4 and basically reduce damage while repairing, because generally you just take increased damage. So 4 and 5 are not the most important. They're just utility bonuses. Oh, but that's a nice flank there on T-34 with the Tiger. These guys are still suppressed, so can't help out against the Zis gun just yet. No ground attack there. But conscripts do push in to get rid of these support weapons, if possible. Ooh, MG a little bit out of position there. And he does notice it. So that actually could open up the Tiger to push those AT guns. But for now, it is not. Looks like a full force off here, actually. Nice job by Tordenskjold. But the Tiger does want to see about that one. Oh no, is he finishing the mine while the Tiger is firing? Oh, that was actually lucky. To knock him out. Jesus Christ, that plane is loud. Yeah, we have got the other 2 Sturmovix attacks in the back line here. Pretty powerful against infantry. But it does not manage to grab that ISG. And gets wiped. Ober is now added to the mix. Actually has a choice between STG 44 package and the light machine gun. So the LMG is just generally extremely good at long-range combat and can fire on the move, since this is an elite infantry unit. And I wanted to check out the STG if they changed anything. Basically, the STG STGs are like medium-range assault guns, similar to Panzer Grenadiers, but they do make it so that you ignore the cover bonus. I think except garrisons, the garrison bonus would still apply, but it ignores standard cover boni. And it also negates the survivability buff you get from retreating squads. So they take full damage while retreating. So it makes them really nice at just clearing out, sending them on a deep flank, forcing them off, and then wipe stuff on retreat. The STG is not, the LEAG is not having a good day here. Constantly decrewed. Raketen actually has done surprisingly little, but will get veterancy 1 now. As long as it hits. Gives the camouflage veteran ability. Makes it a little bit harder to detect, but locks it in place and can only be spun around afterwards. fuel being harassed again. Yep, there we go. Does go back on it. Looks like he might actually use the recon mode to capture that. Yes, indeed. So if you don't know, the T-70 in the recon mode on Veterans Review not only gives you ridiculous sight. Just look at that. That is just brutal stuff. But it also makes you capture territory, which I think is a Veteran C1 ability. So basically that got integrated into the recon mode, which is pretty nifty. Just so much utility in that little vehicle. That one guy in the turret just has so many things to do, and he does a great job of it. Looks like he actually will get the full cap off. That was a dodgy grenade there. Probably preemptive. These guys are out of cover, but that's they're pretty low here. Suppression does kick in though. Tiger is flanking these guys. T-70 is trying to prevent the fuel cut. Fuel capture, not cut. He does a really nice job of it. He knows where the Tiger is, so no threat there. Sys guns are doing their best. Actually get some really nice penetrations in there. T-34 could potentially chase that IS-2 on the field. The beast from the east has arrived. And oh god, that chocolate brown disaster camo. I've actually not noticed thanks to the snow. So I'm very happy he uses that for the winter camouflage. And T-70 just gets used again to capture, but decides better of it. Seems a little bit scared of the Tiger. Understandably so. Did he force off the Raketen? No, he did not. So he didn't know where that was. So good choice there. Oh, the MG34 actually out of position. The problem if you put the cone just on the edge of these flanking positions is, just as you saw there, the traverse will not kick in fast enough for the unit to actually suppress the enemy unit, which enables it to get past it and get flanked. Oh, Tiger actually lucky to get out of there. This gun's not quite nippy enough to get on that. Might get wiped on retreat depending on what's happening. Oh, probably gonna see the... Oh no, just the Faust. Just curious if we're gonna see the double snare there. We do have 490 munitions, which is a bit of a shame. Love to see some mines. But Raketen gets wiped, which is highly unfortunate. And actually has a Command Tiger ability here, the OKW, which I will check out in a moment. Raketen does get stolen. The long-range snare coming into effect there yet again. Probably want to turn that vehicle and not get caught out doing that. Nice use of the T-34's combat mode. Oh, sorry, secure mode. To just face tank that thing and decapture the victory point. 329 to 324 by the way, so a pretty even game in terms of those. Which victory? What do we want to check out? We wanted to check out the Command Tiger, because I actually didn't know about this ability until recently, until I realized how it has even more utility now that it's in the OKW roster. So the Tiger will sacrifice combat performance according with nearby infantry, improving their effectiveness. Infantry are more difficult to hit and fire more quickly. So it's basically a little bit of like a for the motherland buff. And just makes everything around it better at the cost of a little bit of its performance. Which doesn't specify, I think. Okay, Tiger, no, it does. Tiger has reduced rate of fire and accuracy, so I think that it will get reverted in the next patch. Or best said, buffed in terms of the Tiger will not gain any combat maluses? Malai? Someone tell me what the plural of a malus is. I'm gonna go with Malai for now. And I wonder if that actually prompts a cost increase. I don't have it in my mind quite as of now. Because I think 50 munitions for just a flat-out combat buff, depending how strong it is just very, very hard value there. Oh, will it trigger the mine as well? No, but does wipe it and actually destroys it. ASU actually missing the Jagdpanzer. So the double miss on the Jagdpanzer against the IS-2, so can chase that down a little bit. But decides better. He does not know where the Zisguns is, I want to say, and he lost the Raketen as well. Oh, we finally had a mine, I think. Indeed we did, and it paid off. Good stuff there. And actually, now that I think of it, I just saw like double, triple flare mines going up here, decimating those poor Volksgrenadiers. So that might have been the reason he had thrown the incendiary grenade earlier to trigger those. And the game is still so loud. Just bloody hell. I haven't changed the setting in forever, but today it just feels exceptional. There we go. I hope it's not too silent now on the recording. I might turn it up again in the future. But it should be okay, I believe. So already halfway to Vet 1, Veterancy 2 for the Tiger. Does get the Command Tiger ability at Vet 2 and greater accuracy and range, which is just beautiful. Nice use of the combat camouflage there, but the Raketen decides to just hide in the middle. No attack ground attempt there from Oberstei. Might be worth a try. If you can't see what's in the circle, it's basically just a hidden unit. Then you might as well just throw some attack grounds on the most likely positions. Got nothing to lose. And it's always funny if you park like a stormtrooper just on the edge in cover. And then the other person tries to capture and doesn't know why nothing's happening. Oh no, he doesn't finish the cap here. That's gonna cost him in the future. Does have decent fuel, but Tordenskjold having the better of that. Does get the cutoff here on the right side. So pretty good fuel awareness for both of our players. How's the ISG performed? It has been recruit. Hasn't really done much since. Oh, is that a... Oh, that actually is a Soviet mine, which the Tiger could trigger if he decides to chase. Okay, does get the full cap. Oh, but the Sturm Pioneers, nice job, accompanies the Tiger. Reveals it. Oh, actually gets the Raketen decrued. Nice job. These models are spread out, so no need to target those boys for the IS-2. And does take surprising amounts of damage from the Jagdpanzer 4. Usually see a lot more bounces out of that boy against the IS-2. Nice job. Targets the Raketenwerfer here. Gets rid of that. Easy does it. Meanwhile, at some point we lost another Volksgrenadier, which is sorry for missing that. Not entirely sure where that happened. Oh, ever so close to repairing. The Overs need to get out of there immediately. There we go. Did force the MG to retreat, just thanks to its time to kill. Jagdpanzer has to get out of there, but Tiger can just clean that up, no questions asked. At these kind of moments, it's kind of better to use the attack ground, especially when the monsters are spread out, because you never know what the Tiger is going to target. So attack grounding in the middle with the Tiger, which is really reliable. Oh no, he's repairing. Woo! Lucky for him, that was like a bounce, so didn't do full damage there. Will he get out? Looks like he's just about getting out there. JP4 in trouble. But so is the mortar. Second AT gun actually manages to retreat nicely, but did bounce. JP4 should be able to get out of there. Gets the mortar. Nice job. But the Tiger needs to start running. Oh, that was really lucky. Oh, he needs to know. Keep driving. Might even switch off the turret just to not reveal yourself. Now needs to not run into the conscripts, but they do get the nade off. But survives. Veterancy 3, by the way. Oh, the second nade! Bounces! How unfortunate for Tordenskjold. He kinda deserved that one, because Oberstei was really lax on his micro there. Not able to get the Tiger out of there quickly. So hopefully Tordenskjold doesn't get triggered now too hardly and starts throwing the game away. Veterancy 3 does give it, fires more accurately and reloads more quickly, so Jesus Christ. These bonuses are just insane on that type of unit, especially in its current state. Whereas the poor IS-2 barely has any buffs to its name. Oh yeah, they did actually give the fragmentation shell, which I haven't used much, because I haven't built an IS-2 yet. So I wonder if that thing is worth it. Just devastating to soft targets in a large area. And stuns vehicle on a hit. That's pretty cool. 45 munitions. Relatively pricey. I wonder if it resets the cooldown on the weapon. Which used to be a trick you could do with other similar abilities of the time. Basically, just take one shot, immediately trigger the ability, and then it just reloads another shot. And gets a nice, quick and easy secondary shot in. So I wonder if we'll see that utilized. So it's probably very good at decrewing AT guns and the like. Only one Storm Pioneer to repair. We haven't not seen a mechanized added to the mix. Understandably. But actually he has built a second Storm Pioneer now to facilitate those repairs. Because he definitely needs them. Might want to think about a third tank. 79 to 81 pop cap. I need to check. Can you afford it? A Panther, I think he should. That's the wrong boy. Always takes a little bit clicking back and forth. 18 pop cap, so can just about afford it. Might be tight after reinforcing the squads here. Yeah, Panther 4 is trying to sneak up, but hasn't hit the veterancy yet for the cautious movement. Which reduces its speed, but makes it invisible. And laying nice in ambush. Tiger's back up to speed. Oh, Jesus. It's getting a bit too adventurous here. Okay, there we go. Now finally utilizes his mountain of munitions to put some smoke down, but oh my god. Too little, too late, and then this one conscript model just executes him. Oh, I actually never realized that this model is a squad leader unit and not just a 7th conscript per se. With all these heavies going around, I'm very surprised that these hedges are still intact and have not been torn down by either of these players. Still braving forward, trying to get line of sight here, but the T-70 is gonna deal with those while all the other stuff is going on. Oh, but they might get the... Oh, they're staying too long and they're going down. Too greedy. Tiger finishes that off with a pintle mount. But look at that reload now. Just brutal, and the range on it. Doubles this gun. Do force it back. But goddamn. Oh no, does not want to lose those vetted Storm Pioneers. Those repair speeds are invaluable. Veterancy 4. What's that bonus? Oh, actually gets combat blitz only at veterancy 4. So small blessings, I guess. You don't want to have this unit zipping around the battlefield willy-nilly. So the infantry corps a little bit healthier for Tordenskjold. Only one traditional combat unit and capping unit on the field. The rest is going to be busy repairing those tanks. But we still have 2 combat engineers and 2 these conscripts there in the mix. If you don't know, Veterancy 5 does give you... It's really nice for Vox Grenadiers. As long as you don't take a model loss, your damaged models will heal out of combat. Not as long as you don't take a model loss, just they will heal out of combat, but you get max value if you don't drop a model. Which he just did there, thanks to 2 flare mines. You can see the 2 parachutes here and there. So it were indeed 2 and not 1 mine taking out 2 of them. But even with that veterancy, they're acquitting themselves quite well, but they need to start running away. So Tiger trying to clear that MG. Both players cut off from their fuel for the time being. T-34 with the max range penetration! Beautiful stuff. Earns him vet 3. Does entirely destroy the MG though. So T-34 76, a quite nifty little vehicle on vet 3. Usually overlooked and still thrown away with rams quite often by players, which saddens me greatly. But is pretty potent at that stage in its own right as a killing unit. Looks like we're having a little bit of a fuel exchange going on here. That should be repaired rather quickly. Needs to... okay, decides for Panzer IV, not bad. But he really needs some infantry at this point. But thanks to the Schwere, he doesn't need that much infantry to just control his core territory. If he can protect it with the tanks and some support weapons, he will do quite nice, but he needs to be really careful about sending these few squads he has just out without any support. Would be a lot better for him to just wait. So if he would retreat now and not take a model drop, they would heal without needing to run away. But thanks to skirting that corner and the T-70 on that 3, taking massive casualties there. That mortar... Oh no, never mind. It got decrewed earlier, so there's no veterans in that, but it did perform quite well. Oh, will they get triggered by their own mine? No, they do not. That was very lucky. But maybe the second one, indeed it does. I'm very surprised that didn't blow them up. Oh no. He actually saw them in the very suspicious 4-corner formation. So that was a very unnecessary engine damage there. Hey, if nothing else, it gives him a little bit of veterancy. Because about 25, it's about the 25... When you do damage, you get veterancy in terms of damage inflicted. But you also get, for 25% of that value, damage taken will also get added to your veterancy bar. So, still not something you want to do, but you got something out of it. is too brutally slow in that one. Targeting in weapon range would be really nice to have on that beast. Always struggles a little bit with betting up against infantry, because the price comparison is just so little that he barely gains any veterancy from it. So has to hit tanks, but it's also not the most reliable at that. Pretty inaccurate in the beginning. Whereas the Tiger is just way more reliable out of the box. And has a little bit of an easier time, in my opinion, to pick up veterancy. Hey, the mortar actually gets a rear armor hit, inflicting some decent damage on the Jagdpanzer IV, which also gives him some nice XP there. But yeah, thanks to not having the Panzer Commander, he can't actually see quite that far. So with the Panzer Commander, you could probably see about up until here, which really makes that play a lot safer. And if you run into an AT gun, you just can disrupt the barrage, which is why it's so popular. And Vet 5! There we go, ding ding. 72 kills to its name. And we have mobility, speed, and acceleration. So it's gonna be a very, very nippy kitty. Actually goes for a tech up. Okay, did purchase a new Oberstei, which is currently upgrading with LMGs. Vet 3, this gun. Actually, it's gonna have the rate of fire to keep that tracking throughout the entire duration. And then it didn't, and it belied my statement. So apparently it's just about not quite enough. Not even sure if that's a tech round here. Ah, no, but he got pushed out. The last model in the circle got sniped, denying the cap there. Veterancy 2 now for the recruit LEIG. Oh, wait. What? Oh, never mind, that's just general veterancy. I was like, or unlock special abilities at Red 2. Like is it rallying a dice? But no, it isn't. Subsequent smoke barrage, that's interesting. So I'm not entirely sure if that just means reduced cooldown, or if it's also increasing the speed at which it shoots the smoke barrage, which is an interesting bonus. I like it. Probably also one of the more underused abilities on that little thing. Good old smoke barrages, and on every mortar in general, really. Just before an assault, if you can, for example, smoke off this part, then push this, and then if you're lucky, you catch something out like this. For example, this gun, while the rest can't support or require a more intense micro in terms of ground attacks to actually help. This hatch actually still there. One bush left. We'll see if it stands all the way. 102 to 324. So Oberstei is struggling a lot, since he just doesn't have the infantry to cap. IS-2 still not ever so close to veterancy 2. Should get it with the next shot. Until it whiffs completely. God damn you. So very unlucky there, but the Vet 5 Tiger is just such a terror. I have no idea where that Ziskan went. Okay, it went all the way home. But, ooh, brutal damage by the T-34 there. Beautiful. Now that is a situation where it's worth the ram. But doesn't need it. Gets it. Probably by the Ziskan in the back there. I don't think it was the T-34. Didn't see the XP ticked up there. So Oberstei a little bit sloppy with his tank micro there. Needs to be work on that a little bit more. And the Panzer IV, that spells the doom of that. And yeah, just nice use of the Alto Sturmovik. Denies the infantry pressure. IS-2 finally earns Red 2 by killing that Panzer IV. Probably had it before. T-70 finally goes down, which is unfortunate. But here come the double Ziscans, which do need some health, but for now they're okay. Oh no, if they get revealed... Because the Sturmoviks usually do loiter a little bit longer, but throws in a towel. GG, well played. We had a Vet 5 Tiger. Not bad. So if Oberstei can work a little bit more on his awareness when he loses squads, and gets a little bit nippier on his tank micro, I think he has a bright future in that. And just really solid play from the guy, I just forgot his name. God damn it. Nope, we're gonna have to wait for the stats screen. But yeah, if you enjoy the content, blah blah blah, like and subscribe, you know the drill. It really helps the algorithm, just gets me to recommend it to other people. And if you don't enjoy, let me know why. And as always, if you have questions about depression, about how to live with it, I'm gonna try to like work in some anecdotes so you know we have like a baseline, and just work on a little bit about just opening up about that. But for now, 91 kills on a Tiger, that's pretty impressive. So definitely carried Oberstei here. Tordenskjold was just solid gameplay. This gun did so much damage, 64,000 damage in a 1v1. Rather impressive. 241 to 211. Good stuff. Let's see. Looks like yep. Close to an even game for most of the game. Tordenskjold did surge ahead at the 25-minute mark. So this here should be the Tiger purchase. And I think this one was the IS-2 purchase afterwards. But evened out pretty nicely and quick. Not too hard a resource float. This resource float you see here is usually down to population cap. We did see, I wish Oberstei would make use of more of his munitions. Probably would have been, at the current meta, purchasing Panzer Commander and just dropping hot artillery barrages on his enemies. Would have really benefited him here, getting rid of those AT guns. But yeah, enjoyable game. Good stuff from both of them. So yeah, this guns with 20k damage and the IS-2 with 11k damage tank. Just couldn't get the veteran. See, that's his biggest problem, I think. It is really good once you have it, but getting there is just so much harder than with other heavies. GG, well played to both of them. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.